Ever feel like you're wired for a world that no longer exists? There's a reason for that, and it's not nostalgia. If you were a child in the 1970s, your brain developed during a rare psychological window in modern history. You didn't just grow up in a different decade. You grew up in a different reality altogether, one that shaped your nervous system in ways today's world simply cannot replicate. And that wiring is still with you, creating a quiet friction between who you are and the world you're navigating now. The boredom that built your brain. Remember those three dreaded words? I'm bored. But instead of sympathy, you got a swift reply. Then go find something to do, or I'll find something for you. And whatever your parents found was never appealing. So you learned fast. Solve boredom before it solves you. This wasn't cruelty, it was training. With no scheduled activities, screens, or curated distractions, empty time wasn't a problem to fix. It was simply time. And your brain had to respond. Research shows that an unstructured childhood builds stronger executive function, the mental skills for planning, focus, and self-regulation. But something deeper happened. You learned competence. You discovered that when nothing was happening, you could make something happen. You built forts, devoured books, and rode your bike until the day disappeared. Purpose didn't arrive from outside, it emerged from your own initiative. Modern childhood treats boredom like a threat, requiring immediate neutralization. Your nervous system learned the opposite. Boredom isn't an emergency. It's an invitation to engage your own mind. This is why space doesn't terrify you like it unsettles others. You don't panic when there's nothing to scroll or schedule. Your brain remembers what modern life rarely teaches anymore. Meaning doesn't always arrive pre-packaged. Sometimes it has to be created. The body knew before the mind. You didn't learn about danger from warning labels. You learned it by living inside your body. You climbed trees too high, rode bikes without helmets, and played near creeks and construction sites. And sometimes you fall, got cut, broke bones. Your nervous system learned where limits actually were, not by explanation, but by feeling them. This matters profoundly. Research shows that children who engage in physical risk during play develop more accurate threat assessment as adults. Every scraped knee taught your brain, this hurts, but it isn't catastrophic. Every close call recalibrated your fear response. Over time, your baseline anxiety lowered, not from recklessness, but from realism. Modern childhood often reverses this. Risk is removed, but fear amplifies through screens. Children see danger constantly, but rarely feel it proportionally. Their brains learn vigilance without calibration. You've learned calibration without obsession. That's why chaos doesn't scramble you. When situations turn tense, you don't panic. You assess. What's actually happening? What matters? What can be done? Pain wasn't proof of failure. It was information, a lesson carried in the body. The crisis mode that looks like calm. When things fall apart, you get quieter, while others panic or spiral. Something shifts you into a different mode, scanning, prioritizing, solving. From the outside, this looks like detachment. Internally, it's something else. Your nervous system, recognizing familiar territory. Growing up, chaos didn't come with instructions. When plans collapsed, no one buffered the discomfort. You had to orient yourself and act. Your body learned that urgency doesn't require panic. This is accurate threat calibration. Because you experienced real consequences early, your system doesn't overreact to every disruption. It knows the difference between noise and danger, between discomfort and collapse. Your first instinct isn't to dramatize problems, it's to stabilize situations. Movement is the regulation. People often misinterpret this steadiness as emotional distance. It isn't. It's a mind trained to stay functional when things are messy. The waiting that wired your reward system. Waiting used to be built into life. Want to watch your favorite show? Wait a week, take photos, wait days to see if they turned out. Talk to someone? call their house and hope they're home. Nothing arrived instantly, and that wasn't a flaw. It was normal. This shaped your relationship with reward powerfully. When gratification is delayed, dopamine is released gradually through anticipation, effort, and follow-through. Research shows people who grow up waiting develop stronger impulse control, better emotional regulation, and more stable satisfaction. Their brains don't become dependent on constant stimulation. Modern systems flood the brain with instant dopamine hits, then drop it fast. This trains dissatisfaction. Nothing holds attention long. Pleasure becomes short-lived. Boredom feels unbearable. Your nervous system learned differently. Wanting something didn't mean getting it immediately, and waiting often made the experience richer. Anticipation became part of enjoyment, not an obstacle to it. The autonomy that came with a cost. By age 8 or 9, you managed independence that would alarm people today. You left the house in the morning with one rule: be back before the streetlights come on. No phones, no check-ins, no tracking. You navigated neighborhoods and unfamiliar places using judgment, intuition, and trial and error. This built powerful internal wiring. Unsupervised freedom strengthens decision-making and creates a strong internal locus of control. The belief that your actions matter and decisions carry weight. But this strength had a hidden cost. When children are trusted to manage themselves early, they often learn to contain emotions as well as behavior. You handled problems quietly and independently. While competence, it can limit emotional language. You may default to self-reliance, even when support is available. Vulnerability can feel uncomfortable, not because you don't value connection, but because your system learned early that survival didn't depend on it. Unsupervised autonomy made you capable and resilient, but it also taught you to carry more than you needed to carry alone. Why you feel out of rhythm. There's a quiet discomfort you rarely name. The sense that the world moves in a rhythm your nervous system doesn't recognize. Modern life feels louder, faster, and more performative than necessary. Constant updates, explanations, and emotional broadcasting. Why does everything need so much noise? This isn't resistance, it's a mismatch. Your nervous system was shaped where attention was stable, autonomy expected, and competence demonstrated quietly. Today's world rewards visibility, immediacy, and continuous self-expression. When you hesitate to overshare or don't narrate every feeling in real time, it's mistaken for distance. When you pause instead of reacting, it's misread as disengagement. Your system isn't broken. It's calibrated for depth over speed, substance over signal. And while the world has changed, that wiring still matters. In moments requiring steadiness, discernment, and quiet competence, it becomes an anchor, even if it doesn't always fit the tempo of the room. You don't need to become louder or more visible to stay relevant. The work now is integrating that childhood, keeping the self-trust and resilience it gave you while allowing yourself more connection, support, and emotional range than you were ever encouraged to have back then.